Okay, and this week on Linux News, we got a couple things. First, let's address the elephant in the room. We got Cosmic saying that the beta will actually happen. I have really strong opinions about Cosmic lately. And off of that, we also have some leaks that we have on Steam and Valve and what they're cooking up in the future, and we'll go over that. And we also got Gnome pretty much realizing that they can't remove the X11 session. That and more this week on Linux. As always, all the links and stuff that I'll provide will be down in the description if you want to check out the sources and stuff. And let's get started.
Present day. Present time.
So the Cosmic thing has said that I'm gonna say this allegedly that Pop OS 24.04 beta will be coming out along with the Cosmic desktop beta in late September, to be specific, to say September 25. Now, I say this allegedly because over the years they actually said it's coming every year for like 3 years straight, and we still haven't gotten the full release. Even months ago, there was like an update and we haven't really heard a peep, and now they come out and say this, but I don't get my hopes up too much when it comes to the Cosmic desktop. I'll talk a little bit more about that. Okay, so here's a few problems I have with the Cosmic desktop. And no, it's not that I'm impatient. I can't wait for the desktop environment to come out. The thing is that over the years, they kind of like promise that this is going to come out, but that's not what bothers me the most. The thing is, I feel like they tend to like overpromise, like when they say they're gonna offer as much customization as KDE, and you still can't even like search files like app data or any file to the to the launcher. Like there's a lot of features, and it feels like it feels like a weird um how do I call it? It feels like a weird nirvana between KDE and GNOME, but it feels more GNOME than anything, which I don't like it. There's some customization, but it's not like huge customization. That's the thing. And I feel like that over promising kind of makes me like get my hopes on when it keeps getting delayed. There's also some other issues I have, like when I use DaVinci Resolve, I can't just drag and drop. There's just really simple things that should be there by now. I don't know how the beta is going to come out. I know I was testing that in the alpha, but I went into like the latest update like a few minutes ago, and they still haven't implemented a lot of things that usually normal desktop environments do. I do like the concept that it does feel like it feels like a tiling manager combined with a full desktop environment, but there's just certain things that it makes me feel like it's not polished. Like it could be more polished. It's good enough to do most things. But when you come to the content creation area, or like to if someone wants to work on it, I feel like there's certain features finished and it feels incomplete that I wouldn't really daily drive it. Some people would daily drive it. I tried daily driving it, but there's certain features that were just crucial for me. And things I put it aside, like for example, like the thumbs on not showing in videos when I go through my file manager. But then there's other things that really get on my nerve. Like for example, if you use a different like icon pack, every size is weird and you have to like go back to the default Cosmic icons to make the folders resize correctly when you zoom in and out. I also have another bug that it gets on my nerve is when I have a game, and let's say the game, there is a bug. Let's address this one first. There is a bug where when you click on a game, it has like every size it really weird. So you had to like click on it or use a shortcut to increase the size again to make it look normal, or blindly just type full screen so the game resized properly. I couldn't game on it for this reason, especially when I'm streaming, is that it does something that when you're in your game, if you click away to check on your window or click on your second screen, it does this thing where the game won't want to open and you'll have to close the game again and open it again, and it makes you think that it's not the game crashing. It's just like for some, it just does that. Like there's something wrong with the windows or something in there. Again, no shade to Cosmic. I think they're doing a great thing, and I think that it's really snappy and fast. But there's certain things in there that I don't even think they're still ready to be launching the complete beta and come out of the alpha phase when these problems are still there, and I verified today these are still core issues. Okay, so for our next new, GNOME basically removes X11 sessions, and it caused GDM to not even start, and the session wasn't starting. So they're planning on putting X11 back into it. So wow, it's almost like we have said that this is a bad idea. Don't get me wrong. I don't have hate against Wayland, even though I do prefer certain things about X11, but I don't think Wayland is ready for that yet. Not only that, there's still a lot of things that still depend on X11, like applications and other things. And there's all these distros that are always trying to like remove X11 completely and go Wayland. And even as far as removing 32-bit support, that's a whole different topic on its own. But I don't know why these distros tend to do this. Gnome is still going to do it eventually, so don't get your hopes up. They say they're gonna apparently they're gonna give the option for people to actually have that session if they want to have X11, but by default, they actually want to go the Wayland route. So don't get your hopes up. I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think Wayland has solutions yet for that. So we'll just have to see. Me personally, I use Arch. I don't use GNOME. I use Arch KDE. I don't like being told what to use, what not to use. I got X11 and freaking Wayland. I just do what I want, you know? Now, we have another rumor once again. This happens every year or every certain months that they keep rumoring of leaks and stuff that will happen, that they want a Steam Deck too. I'll let you know, Valve has addressed this before and they said they're not going to make a Steam Deck 2 till there's a generational leap in order for them to be worth it to make a second one. I get I get that the Steam Deck is it's supposed to be like an on a like a PC gaming to go on the go, and there's a lot of AAA games that are actually not working or running poorly, but you could get them to run. You just if you're like a Linux wizard like me, like I like to tweak with things, you can get those AAA games that don't run to actually run, but it just takes a lot of tinkering. For the most part, a lot of games work, but I think the whole issue is more related to Unreal Engine. What is it? Unreal Engine 5 or 4 or whatever the Unreal Engine we're in. I'm pretty sure it's 5. Anyway, this is pretty much the issue that's causing it, because every time I've actually run this like on a Steam Deck that I've borrowed, it runs, but usually it has to do with a mod where you have to actually change the engine to run the game on Unreal Engine 4 instead of Unreal Engine 5. So it's more with the developers, but new hardware will be nice. No, right here, there's this leaker right here saying that we won't even get it till like 2028. People say that he's a known trusted leaker, but I pretty much don't trust leakers. They tend to like overhype you. Apparently, he's trusted. We're not gonna get it till 2028. I don't have hopes. I feel like Steam wants to focus. I mean, Valve wants to focus more on the bigger picture, and that brings up to the next news is that Valve might be actually developing a freaking VR, a new VR. Which actually, if this ends up being true, I'm actually really excited because I've been waiting for someone who could shove a fucking big juicy cock down Mark Zuckerberg's throat, because he's been on that way too long. And I remember back in the days, Valve had a VR that it was a little bit pricey, but it was the best VR in the market. And I don't like where Meta is taking things. Now, for our last news, we're going to talk about Bcachefs. So, pretty much Bcachefs is going to get removed out of the kernel eventually, and this is kind of like a grace period. So, as you know, if you haven't been, I know a lot of people have told me, no, they're not going to do that. But unlike those people, I actually follow with the dramas in the forums with Linus Towers and the whole drama. I tend to follow up with this. And because of the maintainer not cooperating and just going behind Linus Towers and just doing what the fuck he wants, it will get removed. I know that the developer was saying, "Oh, well, when you use Bcachefs, you know that what you're getting yourself into experimental." But if there's one thing that Linus Towers does not tolerate, well, first of all, not actually listening and working well with people. But the second one is he doesn't like what people's machines are unbootable, and can't he kept adding and adding to this, and he got warnings from Linus. So if you want to maintain Bcachefs, there will be external maintenance, but you'll have to do it yourself unless your distro actually wants to put this implementations, which means they're going to have to do a little bit more manual work. And I feel like distro maintainers already have a lot on their plate. Your distro might have it, it might not. As always, I always say, I always choose the safe route, and I go with exe4. Like, if you've been following up with the controversy and everything that's happening in the background, you will know that this day was going to come. They still are keeping it, but they're not gonna add like new code to it. It's marked as like, let's say, stable, but if things start breaking, it's not going to get any more like new code emerges. So if you're still running it, you've been warned. And also, a lot of people have told me that day that that shit went down, they told me they couldn't boot up into it because they had like things like cache OS. I knew this was Bcachefs was the issue, but yeah, that's all I gotta say. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me in the comments what you think about all this. And yeah, so next video, I'll be doing a little bit more troubleshoot for certain comments that I've been getting of people having audio problems, and I will be bringing a solution for that. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, as always, stay spooky, stay weird. Bye.